Hello, dear listeners. My name is Caleb Burley. As we are recording this, it is Tuesday, March the 21st, and I have an alert on my computer that will go off if former President Donald Trump is arrested. Welcome to Junk House.
It's a psychobilly freakout!
I tried to give it like a news anchor vibe. Do you think it worked?
Hi, welcome to Junk House.
Well, I got the same erection I got when I watched news anchors, so yes. Caleb, why? Oh, hi, folks at home.
What's
Hey.
up? What's up? How are you doing?
It's
Hi,
me,
everybody.
Cordell, in the Junk House. You remember me from the last Junk House episode? Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
What? As someone who's been tired and busy,
Mm-hmm.
why is former President Donald Trump gonna get arrested? Maybe.
Absolutely.
he?
So, great question.
Why not? But why
So-
this? What specifically have they got on him right now?
Specifically, it comes from something that I don't think many people have talked about in quite a while, which is the Stormy Daniels case, in which Donald Trump seemed to have an affair, in which he paid. He had an affair with Stormy Daniels. Nothing legally wrong with that, but
Can we take a quick pause here? It's going to be this kind of story.
uh-huh.
I feel like it is disingenuous. Like, was it an actual affair or was he paying her? Because I feel like if you're paying someone for sex, that's not an affair. That's you just cheating. An affair implies to me a little bit of an actual connection.
It's
Hello.
it's unclear because there were payments, but they were after the affair, so it's unclear
like an
which
extortion.
is what we're getting into. So
Got it. Okay, cool.
what happened was
all
they
right.
had an affair in 2006.
Oof.
10 years
Forever
later,
ago.
Donald Trump runs for president. Stormy Daniels says, "Hey, I'm going to tell everybody about that affair that we had." And he pays her $130,000 as a hush payment.
Dang.
Yikes. Okay.
Yet again, nothing illegal about hush money technically. What is illegal is that he had it paid through his lawyer, Michael Cohen, who then they both wrote it off as legal fees. On
Whoa,
What?
why would you
taxes.
do that?
So,
So
my
hi,
God.
I had an affair with you. Take this money to stay quiet. I'm gonna write it off on my taxes as a lawyer
legal fee.
thing.
Now, so
Crazy.
that qualifies as falsifying business records, which is a criminal offense under misdemeanor in New York. On a federal level, that is misappropriation of funds because there's no way to know whether that came from his running
yeah.
for president money.
the
Um,
campaign funds.
Did he
So-
use
Shit.
campaign money
It is
to pay off?
It is unclear. Now, the felony exactly that they can get him for, because they don't know if they can get him for misappropriation of funds, is covering up a crime due to falsification of records, which is a felony. So they are covering up, like, using false business expenses by calling them legal fees, which is a pretty bad charge. Now,
Yeah.
if you are me, your first thought is, does that mean he can run for president again? And buckle up, there's nothing preventing you from being president and in prison. So
Nothing?
no,
I
there's
mean-
nothing there. So
I mean, good.
Well, Tiger King
but
announced
fuck-
he wants to run for presidency.
so
my God.
his real only shot is to run for president. Because he could be able to pardon himself if that
Oh.
happens.
Now,
Oh my God.
This seems like a flaw in the system that the person at the tippy top gets to say, "Oops, no, didn't commit a crime."
So,
more
you're
like-
not
Huh.
wrong.
I mean,
Like, that
also
is
a flaw in the system. Also, a plot of an amazing anime.
Yes.
We need to make that like somebody in prison.
My prison
is stuck
president.
in prison. Yeah, and the only way they get out actually could just be a comedy, but it
could
could
we
also
make
be a
it
drama.
Could we make it a South Park style comedy where it's just like every time it's like the real focus is how the country is run, but then you get to like a board meeting where they're having to like Skype the president while he's in prison, and you just see the president like getting gangbanged out of nowhere in prison during a press conference or something. Like, I feel like there's a South Park style humor available.
But you could also do it hardcore drama where it's just
Yeah.
like the only way I have life in prison. I'm on death row. The only way
An
I can
innocent
get
man.
out is if I become the president of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to write that, and it needs to be an anime. I feel like that's the only way you can play it serious.
Yeah.
It would still be hilarious. It would be one
Yeah.
of those unintentional comedies.
I will say real quick, just to clarify why he has to run for president. If he is running and is a candidate and then gets charged, he can still continue to run. If he is charged, he can then not run. So he has to be running actively before the charge.
At what point can you be running?
As soon as you announce it. If you announce it and you can turn in the papers and the money, you're good.
So this
it
might
does
be a
cost
little
money
bit of
to
a
even-
race.
So he is
where-
running to run.
Uh-huh.
This is a race to beat him to the race.
What the fuck? We're in the darkest timeline.
We're
Well,
in a
this
very
feels-
wild timeline.
This
Now,
feels to me a lot like Al Capone getting caught on tax evasion.
which is what he did. It's
Yeah,
literally like
this, yeah.
so.
It's literally the same.
Because this happens all the time with people who commit large scale crimes that are hard to track and hard to prove and easy to pay off. Like, you find the one thing they did that you can get them for, make it small and put them away, and be done.
Yeah, so here the sad part is it is unlikely that Trump will be arrested, but
Yeah.
I just really fucking want it to happen.
I want it so bad.
I want it so bad. I want that man to just die in prison. Like,
I mean,
whatever
yeah.
happened to Jeffrey Epstein, if that happens again, I'll be happy.
True. And I mean, like, he could go to jail for so many other things. It's funny
Yeah.
that this is the thing that he is.
It's funny. Well, what happens is, like, as much as like Trump is a goddamn idiot, he is the smartest idiot I think I've ever seen, because he's done so much stuff that is just legal enough to where they can't get him, but it's also
Yeah.
just illegal enough that people are mad about it, which keeps his name in the presses, which keeps eyes on him, which feeds his fucking narcissism. Like, there's
Which
so
feeds
much.
his like blind crony followers. Like, he's the best description I think I ever heard was because I was in like high school as he was running for presidency, and I was in a like civics class at the time,
Yeah.
and our teacher was just like, well, this is the wildest series of object lessons in politics I could have given you, but we're watching it unfold. So like every class would start with like 10-15 minutes of just talking about the stuff going on in politics.
Yeah.
And he would always say, Trump is crazy like a fox. Like, yeah, he's crazy, but he is clever enough with how crazy he is that he is wielding it well.
I
Yeah,
remember that election cycle because my high school had a like TV station that they ran, which was very fun. And they had me and another person come on the TV station to explain why we supported who we did for president, because we were some of the seniors that would actually be able to vote. And I was very pro Bernie, and this other person was very pro Trump. And it it was just fun. And I just remember emphasizing so much. I was like, why are you calling him a successful businessman? He's been bankrupted 8 times by 8, like in 8 different businesses. Like, he is not a good businessman. He's just barely charismatic enough to sell himself as one.
Yeah.
On a similar level, and then I feel like I want us to move away from politics and have fun jokey joke time.
I have a transition after this.
Okay, sweet. Then on a similar level, it is like, man, this bank failed. We got to bail out and give all these rich people money that we apparently don't have for any kind of social anything. Like, there's never money until rich people need it, and then there's more money than we would need to take care of the poor people. But then there's no money for the poor people, and they're not going to contribute. And it is just absurd how, like, all you need is the inertia of having wealth. Like, if you have enough wealth that people are used to you having wealth, they don't want you to not have wealth anymore for some reason. Yeah. And you can't lose it no matter how hard you try, because rich people also run the country.
The rich get richer.
Make me happy, Sammy.
In the words of System of a Down, I'm sorry. Why don't presidents fight in the war? Why do they always send the poor? Anyway.
Oh, dang.
We read reviews and they're really bad, so guess the movie.
Yay!
So, welcome back to... first of all, thank you for listening to our podcast within a podcast, political talk. Now, welcome back to Minions. I just told you the name of the movie that I was going to show you. That's awkward. So I have another one. But that one...
I was about to make a comment. I was about to make a comment about
Welcome
like, we run
Minions.
like shell games here. We're like podcasts and podcasts. We're so clever. Sammy's like, welcome to the ruined
welcome
joke.
To the joke.
Hold on, no wait.
Does have
Read us the review, please. I want to know what Letterboxd thought of Minions.
There was a scene where they try to hang the minions, and I liked that scene. I was just not.
I think that was for Minions. I think it was Minions.
Minions Rise of Gru,
Shit.
probably.
Did I guess right?
It's Minions.
What I love about the Minions movie,
talk amongst yourselves while I'm
yeah. Find a new movie.
God,
Caleb, what I love about the Minions movie,
yeah,
is that when you watch Despicable Me 1, 2, and 3, you kind of spend the whole, as we all have, you kind of spend the entire movie like assuming Gru made the Minions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you spend the entire franchise with the assumption that Gru created these creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And then Minions comes out and says, no, they've always been alive. They've always been here. They do not die.
Forever.
They've lived for, like, they see dinosaurs. They've existed for millions of years.
I like how
unabated.
In their lore for the Minions, they serve whoever they see is the most evil person at the time.
Yeah.
There's a missing part of the lore where they just don't explain where the Minions were during World War II. They just don't touch on it. They just refuse to say anything.
Well, which is smart, because I think the last thing we need is knowing that our lovable little yellow pill friends were helping out in concentration camps.
You call them lovable? These are not lovable little pill friends.
They've committed war crimes.
They've committed war crimes.
Where were the Minions January 6th?
They were they were there. You know where they were. You know it.
You're gonna get like, I'm waiting for some Facebook mom to post a picture of like Steve or Stu or whatever their names are, just like sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desk, feet kicked up with like a bison hat. Like, it's gonna happen.
There's 100%. First of all, 100% that exists.
That's out there.
1,000,000% that exists.
But also, I'm terrified to think of that, because that means I would have to look at minion feet.
Okay, we're going to restart this bit.
I bet minion feet are sexy.
Oh my God, don't say that. We're restarting this bit. We read reviews and really bad again the movie. Okay, so this is where we read half-star reviews on Letterboxd.
You ever feel like we're just repeating the same cycles? Like, I
Always,
feel like we've been
forever.
here before.
This is a 5-star review by Happy Pappy.
Mm.
9%.
Ooh.
D's nuts out of water.
One more time?
9%. D's nuts out of water.
So he's wanting to give this movie the lowest score he can, which I guess is a half star, so 9%.
Half-star, yeah. Well, in the review that they wrote the word they wrote 9%. D's nuts out of water.
I want to say like the Emoji Movie or something.
I'm gonna guess Despicable Me 3.
Now, see, I could have gone that route. I did not. Still
Okay.
a kids movie though. 1/2-star review from Emma. I laughed a grand total of 3 times.
That's always a good indicator.
The Outlook email notification, the low battery notification, the seagull telling the pigeon taxi driver to just drive.
Is this the movie Bad Guys?
No.
Is this that movie where the turkeys try to go back in time and stop the pilgrims from having turkeys for Thanksgiving?
I wish. And
It was
maybe next episode.
Freebird.
1/2-star review from Sasha X Nicole.
Okay, I feel like
I
this
just
is
like
the last
hearing more
one.
of
Yeah,
them. I
feel like this-
love these.
A disgrace to the SpongeBob franchise.
Oh, is it the sponge out of water?
Sponge out of water.
D's nuts out
Oh
of
my
water.
God.
9% D's nuts out of water. So
That makes
I
sense.
brought up originally Minions because before we were recording, Caleb was talking a little bit about Warhammer 40K.
Yeah,
Um,
which is
and-
a franchise I am a recent fan of.
yeah, I've in the past have seen animations, and me and Caleb actually recently watched those together. And I forget who they were by, but they were incredible.
They
Yeah.
were by?
They're by. But today, while we were just chatting, just talking, just hanging, I found this guy. I found this man. Okay, so I'm going to spoiler these images. Don't look at them yet.
God.
But first of all, I am not good at pronouncing words.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you pronounce this man's name?
Oh, that'd be Bartolomej Veterinari would be my best guess. But
Yes. Have you seen this man before?
Bartolomej. I have not seen this man before.
So, this man makes, from what I can tell, I think does some like either official art or like fan art for 40K.
Okay.
Can I look?
Unspoiler the pictures.
That's a minion.
Yes, that is
Space Marine.
40K minion.
And that's a minion poxwalker?
So this man,
What?
shout out this man. It's only these 2. I wish I could find more, but he's made 2 minion. Like the one of the chaos gods is Corn.
Corn.
The one on the left is named the minion of Corn.
Oh my god.
And then the other one has a fun name too. Let me look it up.
That looks like it would be a minion of Nurgle.
That's Lucius, the eternal minion.
God.
We will have to pay for our crimes against God.
I mean,
Which-
I won't.
No, the fact that we've looked at this means that I think we have done something unholy and evil.
So, okay.
Great song.
Unholy. Yeah, that's a good song.
We were
Um,
unholy.
I.
Woo!
Caleb is disgusted and ashamed to have seen this.
And a third secret thing.
And a third secret thing is that anger in your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
Is that pants in your pants, or
No.
are you angry?
Is that a
I'm
minion in your
trying
pants?
to-
Or you just
I'm trying
Is that a
to
Warhammer 40K in your pants?
the hammer is my penis.
I'm trying to put into words why I actually think the minions fit so well in Warhammer 40K.
I
Because-
don't want to hear your
I
sentence
do.
anymore.
No, because Warhammer 40K, everyone is evil. No one is good. And what do the minions love more than bananas?
Evil.
Evil. They love it.
I think the minions are kind of the ideal servants for the chaos gods because they'll just do whatever.
You know what I think this episode has turned into, though? And I'm going to ask this question.
Uh-huh.
What villain in literature, in media, would the minions be the best for? What world do they fit in perfectly and would be the best servants for what villain?
This is a Minions episode.
This is going to be a Minions episode.
I think it was only a matter of time before we had a Minions episode.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it somehow coincides, ironically, with our discussion of another great villain from
Donald John
our
Trump.
lifetimes,
Yeah.
Donald John Trump.
Yeah, we can't.
Donald
we
Donald
know,
Trump.
We know the minions already work for Trump, so we're not even going to bring him up.
No,
Okay.
I want to posit. I think we should just kind of spitball a little bit and then discuss as we go. I think one for surezies villain the minions work for, Willy Wonka.
He's like capitalist evil.
He's just a freak,
He's a
and he
weirdo.
lets children die and enslaves people. So like, I think
Yeah.
the minions work for him, and they like whip the Oompa Loompas.
Even more so the Johnny Depp one, because that guy was weird. That guy was
You know the
really
name-
weird.
Do you know the name of the dude that played all of the Oompa Loompas in the
Deep
Johnny
Roy.
Depp one? His name is Deep Roy, and I love him more than I love life itself.
I want to throw out Sauron.
That's who I was thinking.
Sauron, I think, is a good option. I don't know if it's the option, but I think it's a good option.
Another good option. And kind of fits the Gru aesthetic.
The Grusthetic.
Lex Luthor?
Dr. Eggman from the Sonic franchise. Of
Oh.
course I would bring up a Sonic character. You say quietly in my ear.
Of course you would bring up a Sonic character.
Of course you would bring, you sick freak, bring up Sonic. Oh, you sicko.
Sonic
Say it
inflation
slower.
porn.
Say it.
So, yeah,
slower.
I think this reminds me of an offshoot
pregnant.
conversation.
Sonic's pregnant with your baby.
My
What are you
baby.
gonna do about it? You little sick freak. Going in there, getting Sonic's so pregnant.
I'm leaving.
Sonic so
Cordell, what are you
pregnant.
saying?
Sonic inflated with nothing but that hot cum.
Kids have 4 penises. What were you saying, Cordell?
Give me a second to breathe. Oh golly. I was gonna say that I think a fun offshoot conversation topic would be if we were furries, what franchise would we be furries for? But I want to finish the Minions conversation first. We're being cursed today.
Yeah.
I think
This is a punishment episode.
we have sinned greatly.
All right, I'm gonna say it. When we get into Warhammer lore, there's a chaos god known as Nurgle. Nurgle is a kind of a god of stagnation, is his specific realm, and making sure things don't change, which often leads to Nurgle being like sick kind of looking, and kind of like infection is his thing. And I think that fits with the minions because often the Nurglites look like little freaks, but they don't care. Like they constantly look like their flesh is falling off their bones. They have like open sores and gross shit all over them, but they don't care. They just like exist. They just kind of are like, you know what? We're happy the way we are. We're a little freaks. I'll look up some Nurgle demons and send.
Safe search off.
Safe search.
Nurgle
on.
demons inflation. Safe search off.
Oh my god.
All right, I've sent a picture of a Nurgle demon. It's very small. Is there not a bigger one?
That's the littlest picture I ever saw.
But
Caleb.
I can see it. He is inflation porn.
Yeah.
That's a slightly bigger one. I don't know why it's coming out so small. But like he has a giant mouth in his stomach.
Oh. A mouth?
I have another pitch for a Nurgle demon. A Nurgan.
A Nurgan.
No, sorry, a villain. Dang it. Why can't I be right? Why can't I be right? A villain.
If you can't be
the
right,
villain.
I can't be right.
It's so wrong, I'm wrong.
Okay.
I think a good villain for the minions is Dr. Evil.
In his sing-along blog? No, I'm kidding. That's Dr. Horrible. But no, Dr.
Who would not
Evil.
be a good leader for the minions. Yes. Dr. Evil, played by Mike Myers.
Mike Myers is
I
just
think,
a good leader for them.
Yeah, honestly. I kind of hate his face now.
But no, that's a very good option.
Because I think the minions love evil, but like they love like affably evil more than anything else. Like,
yeah,
like you're kind of bad, but like really not that bad. They love that,
and
I think Dr. Evil is that. Yeah,
number 1 is evil. Number 2, banana. So you gotta have at least banana, and money.
And Dr. Evil appreciates banana.
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 Do.
Banana.
Do.
What about just Satan?
No.
No. I agree, actually. I can't explain it, but no.
What about
I wish I could give you more.
Dean Winchester from Supernatural?
Are you just Googling characters?
No, I just off the top of my head. He's not a villain, but I think they would follow him because he's so hot.
That's just being like sprung. That's not the same.
Okay. I think I have come up with the perfect villain for them because right now in the Minions universe, who did they serve? Gru. Is Gru really a villain?
Not really anymore, at least.
He did steal the moon.
He did,
but he put it back. Girls. He loves those little girls.
He is capable of love.
So we need a villain that is still capable of love. And that is why, and I know Sammy has already mentioned this one, but I think it's perfect. It's Dr. Evil. Because he loves his son. He wants the connection with his son, but the son doesn't want the connection with him. And I think that makes Dr. Evil the ideal villain for the minions.
I'm going to kiss you on the mouth.
Alternatively,
I'll turn around.
Alternatively, from Dr. Evil, another villain that is capable of love is Saruman from Lord of the Rings. Not Sauron, who is not capable of love, but Saruman.
Why are you... I think Saruman's just a bad man with no love in his body.
No. Because
I hate him so bad. Him and Grima Wormtongue can go suck dicks. Suck each other's dicks. I
want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine Saruman in the Two Towers falling off and falling to his death.
Oh, he
Yeah,
got
And you
that's
see
penetrated.
his eyes. Yeah, you see into his eyes. And those are not the eyes of somebody without regret. Those are the eyes of somebody that has regret. And I think that regret is he realized that he trusted and loved the wrong people.
He never got in Gandalf's
I don't buy it.
pants.
I hate him. I hate him so much. Saruman they were sent to protect Middle Earth. Like they were supposed to help man be better and be gooder, and he joins up with Sauron and he's evil and he chopped down all those trees
Mhm.
and he
He
he's
caused
the
global
reason
warming.
Sauron was able to come back. Like
Mhm.
he was really bad and evil, and I don't think he ever
Mhm.
shows love. I think he was sad he was falling off a tower and dying.
Or is it that Saruman was misguided and thought that possibly Sauron was the way to protect Middle Earth from its own self and from its own devices?
Just like fire. He was burned. But he grew. I don't know.
So, listeners, what you missed was Sammy lighting a lighter and doing some fun little like.
Yeah, can you
motions there.
add like a flamethrower sound effect in
Or like a
post? Gina?
campfire.
Yeah. Or if
Campfire
yeah,
would be
campfire would
good
be
post.
better than a flamethrower.
But no, here's my thing. I think all good villains are misguided. I think a vast majority of like the best literary villains and just villains in general are the ones that you're like, okay, you thought you were doing good, but I'm pretty sure Saruman just wanted power.
Yeah.
But
Like,
is that not just a misguided thing to just want the power? Because also Saruman wanted the powder. He wanted the power. He wanted the powder. He wanted cocaine.
Yeah, good
He
cocaine.
wanted that good cocaine. Saruman
When
wanted the
Sauron
power
gave him
because he
cocaine.
wanted to protect Middle Earth. I think like
Does
Saruman.
he say that?
That
Does he
was his
say that?
explicit goal. Like that was the Maiar's whole thing. Like all 5 of them are there to protect Middle Earth. And I think Saruman realized, he was like, you know what? These elves keep fighting each other. These, like, all of them keep fighting and killing each other. If I can take power, I can stop this. I think that would be his goal. Am I 100% sure? No, because I'm not a Lord of the Rings expert. I'm just going off of what I know of the Lord of the Rings universe, you know?
I'm looking up Saruman's motivation in Lord of the Rings.
Can you look up
trilogy.
Saruman feet pics while you're at it?
I'm going to look that up after.
Okay, thank you.
Also, here's a minion as Omni-Man.
Oh, sick.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good villain.
And yeah, well, the Viltrumites specifically.
Yeah.
I
He
wanna
doesn't- they
see
don't
a
need
bunch
the
of
minions,
Viltrumite
though.
minions.
I
They
can't wait
don't,
for season
but-
2.
I know. I might reread the comics again.
I
wish I'd only
can't
read it once.
read.
Okay, so here we go.
Wait. You can't read, Caleb? Is this a
No,
a
I can read. I
Can't.
can't in the way that it's like, okay, if it is longer than like a paragraph, but my ADHD ass, fuck off. That ain't happening.
Okay, that's fair.
Are you ready to hear a long form explanation of Saruman's motivations?
Sure?
Does it include feet pics?
Afterward.
I'll find the
Afterward. Give me
feet pics.
time.
I'll find it.
Yeah, Sammy, find and send Saruman feet pics.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Not Christopher Lee. Saruman.
Saruman, yeah.
So, there's a combination of things that have driven Saruman to act the way he does in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The first thing you need to realize is just how long a gap there is between the two trilogies. When Bilbo went on his adventure in The Hobbit, he was about 50. Beginning of Fellowship of the Ring, it's 61 years later. During that time, a lot has happened to Saruman. The main things he's done are, he started using the Palantir to spy on Sauron. That's the crystal ball. Gandalf is worried about the effect of using those stones and says so. Later on, we find out that Sauron not only has one, but that he can use it to extend his influence and corrupt the mind of its user. So, his mind's been corrupted. He's taken up ringcraft. I don't remember if this is ever really explored in detail in any of the movie, but Saruman has been trying to recreate magic rings of his own, attempting to rediscover what Sauron had managed to do with the Rings of Power. Having the One Ring in his possession would be a huge boon to his research. Really, like everyone else who desires the ring, he's basically fooling himself, ultimately playing into Sauron's hand. He's suffering a tiny bit of a nervous breakdown over Sauron's return, because Sauron's been in his head, but also the fact that Saruman seems to genuinely believe that Sauron is strong enough to defeat all of Middle-earth. Saruman and the other wizards were sent to fight him, but Saruman has apparently decided it's a hopeless job. Only way to survive is to ally with Sauron and hope they don't get betrayed. And so then the other one is like him not liking Gandalf. So no, I don't think that was like, oh man, I love Middle Earth. I think that's I've given up on fighting and I'm gonna look at feet pics.
No.
So
Oh yeah,
the picture that I
that's
sent.
good
I
stuff.
said, "Hey, warning! Not just Saruman feet, if you catch my drift, because it's Gandalf holding Saruman up and fucking Saruman, but it does have Saruman's feet in it."
Honestly, it's like tender and aggressive somehow. Like their sexual tension finally got worked out here.
Yeah, and somehow you don't see any private parts. I
Like
mean,
No
you
penis.
very
see a
tasteful.
butt, but they're
tastefully done.
Yeah, it's a very loving rendition.
Do you guys know that Christopher Lee, the man who played Sauron,
Yeah, I've
is
met
like
him.
the coolest
Great guy.
person ever, right?
Yes.
Like his uncle was the writer, or like somehow he knew the writer of James Bond and was related to him, and the writer of James Bond was like openly like, yeah, I based James Bond on Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee worked for like the British Secret Service,
Yeah.
and when they
What the
were
fuck?
filming Lord of the Rings, the director was like, "Oh yeah," and he stabs him and he'll make this sound, and Christopher Lee apparently was like, "That's not the sound."
Yeah, like he was like, when you're stabbed, it's like all the breath of you comes out at once. It is not
Yeah.
something big. It is a small and subtle noise.
Yeah. And
What a
he was like,
badass.
he was like, "I cannot and will not tell you how I know." One, he legally like cannot tell them the reason he knows these things. So it's wild stuff. He's such a cool dude. He knew Tolkien.
That's so wild.
Yeah, and so like, and he had heard Tolkien like read sections of Lord of the Rings in like the Black speak, the language.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, yeah, that's not how you say it. And was like a dialect coach on set for people that had to read Elvish and stuff.
What
Also-
a badass.
Also, like, I'm going to send a picture of this guy when he's young, because now seeing a picture of him,
He was
I
hot as
get-
shit.
I get why James Bond was based on this man. Let me
Yeah,
find...
talking about that, his mother married the Harcourt George St. Croix Rose, the uncle of Ian. So like Lee became Ian Fleming's step cousin, and Ian Fleming is the author of the James Bond novels.
Yeah, I just sent a picture of young Christopher Lee.
He's got an intense kind of look to him that is like
Oh my
attractive
God.
and scary.
Yeah.
Scary
okay.
attractive.
Just so we are all
On the same
clear.
page.
Yeah, we're all on the same page. He was in the Finnish army, which then, like, he joined the British military. He joined the Royal Air Force, where he was a leading aircraftman. Then he was in the South African army. Then he went back to England to be in that army. And there's a brief section of his military service that he referred to as the killing times. And he will not explain what that means. Like, he
Well,
never
it was the
explained
killing
it.
times. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but
it's
like,
the killing times.
yeah.
Like, that's pretty obvious.
and that he decided to become an actor on a whim, and was just like, because somebody was just like, you're quite good at acting. Why don't you just be an actor? And then he just did it.
I want to have that man's babies.
Well,
I just,
got some.
You
saying
ever
for it.
hear about people who are just so effortlessly cool and good at life that it makes you feel a little bit like just so bad at life?
yeah,
That's him, my friend Christopher.
yeah.
Is he dead?
Yeah,
He is dead. He
Aw.
passed away.
2015.
Now here's a pitch.
Okay.
Mhm.
We learn necromantic powers,
Bring him back to life.
bring him back to life, and in doing so, we will bring so much darkness into our hearts that the minions will follow us.
I am entering my witch era.
I am not against this.
What kind of okay, here's an actual fun thing. What kind of villain do you think you would be? Like, if you became a villain, like, not like why, but like, what kind of villain?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Huh.
Huh.
I feel like I would want to be a Doctor Doom. Just kind of egotistical, doing literally everything. I can kill Cthulhu type shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, also, just more fun facts about Christopher Lee. He was one of the last direct descendants of Charlemagne, and he was so directly descended that when he wanted to get married to his wife, he had to get permission from 3 kings.
Well, that'll do it.
And I guess they gave permission, so that's pretty poggers. There's probably a story behind
Anyway, probably.
I think I'd be the kind of villain that you spend a lot of time going, are you really, like, is this actually evil? Like the kind of villain where it's like, yeah, I'm doing bad stuff, but like you spend the whole time kind of like questioning whether any of it could be considered evil or not until the end. Like the kind of villain where you sit at the end of the movie and go, was that guy actually bad? If that makes any sense.
I feel like that's a cop out. Because it's kind of like saying,
that's fair.
I'm the type of villain that does good stuff.
Okay, you know what? Fine, give me a minute.
Okay.
Ask Caleb. Give me a minute.
I mean, that's a good answer.
No.
but-
It's okay. Nah, I'll think of something else.
I don't know. I feel like in reality, if I was to just become a villain, it would be more like, you ever seen Inglourious Bastards?
I'm not allowed to say that word.
You ever
Fair.
seen Inglourious? Yeah, but Christoph Waltz, that like very cold, not
Ooh,
really
yeah.
like that kind of just like very cold, not really caring. That is
could be
kind of
really
the
fun.
vibe. I feel like that is like, because I feel like to find what kind of villain you are, you kind of have to imagine the parts of yourself that you actively worked to get rid of and actively work to improve.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Yeah. Well, like, so I initially took this as what we would want to be. Because that was the
Okay.
initial question. So that's why I was
Oh,
like,
I
Dr.
thought it was
Doom,
what-
because that would be fun to
Okay,
just be
if
an
it's-
all-powerful god.
Well,
what
let's
I want to
answer
be is
both
the
then.
penguin. Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Just very,
Okay.
very kooky, but not ever like directly involved.
Want to be Dr. Octopus. He's got all the extra arms. I want to be
Yeah.
that. I want to be the kind of like science villain that makes all the fun contraptions to make himself super good. Villain I would likely be though is a Sandman type character. Like I got into crime to help somebody, but now I'm in too deep and can't stop. But like you're not going to get in my way or stop me.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
that would be the actual villain I'd be.
Yeah. Villain. Yeah, villain. I would like to be Penguin. Villain. I think I am maybe Black
Hmm.
Skull.
Who?
Black Skull. Batman villain.
Don't know.
Black
Not familiar.
Mask.
Black Mask.
Still not familiar.
If that's who
sure.
I'm thinking of.
He has a black skull.
Yeah,
As a mask,
where
but he
like
goes by
kind
Black
of like
Mask.
the impression I get of him is that like he doesn't care about the rest of Gotham. It's not like he wants to destroy Gotham to destroy Batman. He just wants to destroy Batman.
Yeah, he's kind of
just single-mindedly focused.
mob boss wants to kill Batman. Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, just like that. And I think that's the thing is that like if I was a villain, it would be a single-minded focus of
Yeah,
this is my goal. I will do anything and everything I can to achieve that goal. The rest of it
Yeah.
be damned. If Gotham is destroyed in the process, I could not give a shit.
Mm.
I feel like I would be a Atrocitus, like for a Red Lantern type. I feel like anger would be a motif of my what I actually would be.
Do you consider yourself an angry person?
No, but I feel like
If you got bad.
yeah, I feel like if one of my bad qualities was going to be severely expounded, I do have some anger. And
Yeah.
I do find myself getting frustrated, but not like that would be blown up and it would just be like all encompassing anger, I feel.
Got it.
That feels
I
like
feel
the
like-
most accurate.
Yeah. My villain thing would likely be that, like, I like to help and I want to make things better. I think it would be me getting to a point of, like, I know what is best and you are all going to get it no matter what you think or want.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm in charge, I don't care anymore. Like, you idiots do not know what you need. I do.
I could see that.
I can see that.
I could see that.
But Cordell,
But Cordell.
you asked a question earlier and we said this was a punishment episode.
I'd
So we have
hoped
to go
to
back to it.
skate. I'd hoped to like escape the thing I said.
We only got like a few more minutes, 10, 15. I feel like there's an answer for Cordell and I pretty easily. Now, are you saying what our fursona would be or what we're attracted to?
God.
I don't think I necessarily want to talk about our attractions, but like fursona.
Because furries, to be clear, is not. It's not all about the
this.
sex and sexual stuff. It's not.
No. It's. I wasn't making it sexual. I was trying to make it
just saying that I
fursona-y.
just have to say that for the public, for the general audience.
I think the franchise would be Pokemon. I don't know which
For
one
sure,
would
for
be
me
my
too.
fursona though. Like I gotta dig through this, figure out what my fursona would be.
Because it's kind of like, it honestly is like, what kind of Pokemon do you want to be?
Yeah, and it's like I do got to take into account a little bit like my size and shape, like, you know, not trying to be like, oh man, you got to be the exact dimensions, but like I don't think I'd get along being a Togepi, you know?
Yeah, fair.
I want it to fit me.
Well, it would be a more humanized version.
That's true as well.
Have you seen Buff Togepi on the internet?
Buffy, not
Buff
yet.
P? Well, I guess I'm Googling something else.
Toga Buff. Caleb, are you mad at us for these things we make you hear and think?
Sometimes.
Caleb's
Not
actually
now.
seen Buff Togepi in VR
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you're
'cause I
not
ran-
mad about
Oh,
it?
sweet lord.
No, I'm not. I'm not mad about it. Fun fact: the one time Sammy and I hung out in VR chat, and I was stuck as a buff Pikachu for about 30 minutes.
It was great. He
That's
was
good
so
stuff.
buff.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I gotta think. Caleb, you tell us about your fursona.
And what series?
What
You think it's
series would your
Pokemon too?
fursona come from?
I don't think it's Pokemon. I really don't. I don't know what mine is.
Does it have to have fur to be a fursona or just be an aminal?
Well, we can be scalies. You can be featheries.
Okay. That's
So, yeah,
important.
it can be
I
whatever.
think maybe.
Zelda.
Oh, maybe Zelda. Maybe Zelda would be. No, you know what? I think the animal in fiction stuff that I relate to the most is Gromit from Wallace and Gromit.
Ooh,
Oh, that's such a good one
great
for
I'm
you.
standing by that. That is it.
You'd be Gromit. Yeah.
I'd be Gromit.
Gromit is your fursona. I love that.
Yep.
That fits perfectly.
Is Olivia your Wallace?
Yeah, I think so. Or like the Gromit love interest from that one movie they did.
Ooh.
Ba, 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 ba,
I just
ba.
would really like to be a
Yeah.
Beware.
Ooh, yeah.
There's probably some other Pokemon I would want to be. Maybe like a Arceus.
I think if I was
Not Arceus.
if I did have to pick a Pokemon to be, I feel like a Venusaur.
Ooh.
Mm. Okay.
Buff Venusaur. I like it.
Buff Venusaur or buff Bulbasaur maybe, or Ivysaur. Anyone in that like evolutionary
I feel
line.
like in this stage of your life, you're probably an Ivysaur or maybe a Vena.
I think I'm still in the Ivysaur stage. I think maybe once I'm 30, I'll be Venusaur. But
I like that.
yeah.
I think I really love. I'd love to be a Pikachu clone, probably.
Ooh, okay.
Like one of the regional Pikachu friends. Probably an Emolga. I love flying squirrels. I think they're delightful and wonderful.
Mm.
So I think that'd be the one I'd go for. On a fun level though, Meltan. Just be a fun little dude.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm.
Ditto.
Yeah. Everyone loved to be a Ditto.
Everybody
great.
Yeah,
wants to be a
everyone.
Everybody wants to be a dildo.
With did you say dildo?
Huh?
You did
No.
say dildo.
You said
I
dildo.
didn't say dildo. Everybody wants to be a dildo.
It's like, you guys want to hear? You guys want to know something crazy? Because we haven't dunked on England in a long time, and Sammy just reminded me of something
go,
we could
England.
dunk on England for.
The Queen's dead.
The Queen is dead. Their king right now once said to his wife that he wished he was her tampon.
In a sexy way?
Yeah.
That's not sexy.
In like DeviantArt, like, I got transformed into a tampon and my wife, the queen. Like, oh.
Let me see if I can find a King Charles. He's the third, right?
I think I love the concept of like bad porn lines of like the writers of this porn were like, you know what? This is sexy, right?
People like
And
this,
it's-
right?
It's like people are into this, right? It's like you didn't give me enough money to even buy tampons because it goes in a vagina and that means it's good for porn and sexy, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Well, Caleb is still finding this.
I found
You
it.
found it? Okay, then say it.
Oh, yeah.
Then say
This
it.
is the exact transcript from the phone call.
Oh, it was a phone call, too.
It was a phone call. Charles, oh God, I'll just live inside your trousers or something. It'll be much easier. Camilla laughing. What are you going to do? Turn into a pair of knickers? Oh God, you're going to come back as a pair of knickers. Charles, or God forbid, a Tampax. Just my luck.
Cool.
And then
We in the
Camilla
episode
said,
now.
you're a complete idiot. Ha ha ha. Oh, what a wonderful idea.
She was into it.
Can we end now? I don't want to be awake anymore.
No, because I still have to talk about my gross thing.
Yeah, you talk about your gross thing because this is a punishment episode.
So I didn't look at it because why would I fucking look at it? but I was watching YouTube, and I won't even tell you what video talked about it because I don't know, and I don't want you to see it. I don't want you to go searching yourself. But there's apparently like a comic book series on DeviantArt all about a guy whose superpower is to turn into a diaper.
What
Like in a horny way.
the
Like
fuck?
in a horny way.
On
What?
adults?
On adults.
The
Okay.
Adult diapers.
Okay.
well,
That's a little bit better.
Yeah. But is it that much?
No, it's not at all. Not even remotely.
Yeah.
I was
Cordell-
trying not to cry.
Cordell, do you want me to tell you something that just is better?
Yeah.
It's the one.
We have to have a little bit more of separation between man that turns into a diaper and our outro music. We cannot immediately thank them.
No,
One more topic, please, to separate
No,
this.
the end of this episode is us somberly thinking about what we've done in our lives that got us to this place.
Okay, a moment of
where we're talking
silence.
about man who turns into diaper. This is us like reconsidering a lot of things.
But a moment of silence at least. We have to have us just a...
Oh.
Okay. Here's my idea. Okay. Sammy, from starting as soon as I end this sentence, I need you to just find like a royalty-free like funeral march and play that, okay? Because
Okay.
we're killing this episode,
Oh, that's good.
and then
Okay.
we're gonna come back and end it, and that'll be okay. So
This episode's getting murdered. We gather here today to kill this episode
Lay to rest.
that's already dead.
We got punished hard.
we got
but not in a
punished.
sexy way.
Rest in piss. Episode 41.
Where we got horny in a way none of us liked.
And sadly, no notifications. No notifications.
Yeah.
notification.
alerts
He didn't
about
even
Donald
get
Trump.
arrested.
So might as well just not even release this episode.
Yeah, what's the point anymore?
The point is that we have to spread the good news. The good word of Reverend Horton Heat.
The music swells.
And their amazing song, Psycho Billy Freakout, off the album Smoke 'em If You Got 'em.
Everyone at the funeral cheers. Samantha steps up. And if you could review and rate our podcast on iTunes, on Spotify, on everywhere you get your catchers, you catch those podcasts and listen to them. Be really helpful. We'll miss this episode though. Rest in peace.
Cordell steps up and announces that he had sexual relations with this episode
Oh my god.
and is pregnant, but will not be keeping this freak baby. And if you wanna email us, you can do so at junkhousemailbox@gmail.com. Do we have any emails this week, please?
I don't believe so.
Okay, that's all right. I didn't want him anyway.
Caleb can make one up though. Caleb's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make up an email, Caleb.
This one is from Joseph Biden at gmail.com. And it says, good job, girl and boys. You guys have really made a podcast. Maybe next time I'll be your guest. It's me, Joseph Biden. And here's my question. If you were president, what would you do? Wow, what
That's
a
a
great
good question.
question, Joseph Biden.
So, Joseph Biden, maybe we'll talk about that next week.
And as we say every week,
I had sexual relations with Joseph Biden.
And all I got was the stupid t-shirt.
And with that, everyone slowly filed out of the funeral. The 3 junkie jokesters went back to their junk house, saddened by the death, one of their most recent episodes. But little did they know, that bitch was still going up, baby.